Hello and welcome back to the podcast, everyone. In this episode, I am joined by my little big brother, Jamarcus Jones. Marcus will be sharing some of his experiences as an active duty Army sergeant and instructor. Hey, Marcus, how's it going?
Hey everyone, I'm doing good, big bro.
Hey, I'm glad to have you on, man. It's been a few years since we did this, Marcus.
Yes, sir. You came a long way with this you know, uh platform you got, so I'm proud of it, bro.
Hey, I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to kind of quickly circle back to, why you joined the Army in particular and some of the places that you've been, be it a deployment or PCS or what have you. So go ahead, Marcus. Why did you ultimately decide to join the Army?
Well, I mean, it's probably the most common answer that most military people say coming from our community, but I just wanted to get away from my environment, get off, travel as far as I can go, and I don't know, like watching those army commercials back in the day, kind of like motivating me to step out and do something with my life for my country to some sort. But yeah, from there, I joined 2011. Went on to basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Then I went to AIT, which full circle now. I'm back here at Fort Lee, Virginia. From there, I went to my first duty station, Fort Bliss, Texas, and El Paso, Texas. Then from there, I went to South Korea. From South Korea, well, while I was at Fort Bliss, I deployed to Afghanistan. I also did a little humanitarian mission in Liberia, Africa.
Uh-huh.
From there, I went to South Korea. From South Korea, I left and went to Fort Stewart, Georgia. From Fort Stewart, I went back to Korea again for a second tour, and then now I'm here at Fort Lee, Virginia.
Man, Marcus, I've forgotten about two of those moves you made, maybe three of those moves. But that's one thing about the military, in particular. It's definitely a lifestyle. You remember I've shared stories with you. I was like, I everything that you just laid out. I was like, I didn't want that. I didn't want to, bounce around and move and go back and forth. My strategy was a little different, than others, and I stuck to mine. But having said that, hearing how as you were laying that out, envisioning those places, that is some cool stuff, man, especially coming from, a small town like Waynesboro, Georgia. Like you said, one of your main reasons for joining, you want to change your environment. You want to see different things, different places, experience different things. So that's awesome, brother. We're proud of you, man. And you said you went to Korea twice, right?
Yes, went to Korea twice. Like I said, did a mission in Liberia, Africa, which I love. It was a great experience. If it wasn't for the military, I'm pretty sure I probably never went to Africa. And then I
Right.
also forgot to mention I went to Kuwait for 9 months. So yeah, I've
Oh,
been to
cool.
Kuwait and Afghanistan.
So, Marcus, I don't think I've ever asked you this, but which out of those deployments, no matter the duration or what have you, which one was the coolest experience?
I definitely say Africa when I went to Africa because we was able to go out into the outside of the base. Well, it was an airport that we was working at, so I got to hang out with some of the locals there, and just from what we feel and stuff we take offense to here, they was making jokes out of it over there. So it was like eye opening for that. And then just eating their food over there. Me thinking going to Africa, I'll see like, walking around with the baskets on their head and, that different type of stuff, safari, all that stuff. But nah, they was like us over there, wearing name brand clothes, tennis shoes, They had gyms over there. So, it was like being in America to some parts of it.
hmm hmm and Marcus, thanks for painting that picture and not sharing that in particular, so we can see the picture regarding, you know, what we, some of us may think, what we may envision, certain parts of Africa, certain countries may look like, what they're doing, what they're wearing. Thanks for giving that visual, because even how you were painting the picture with respect to the dress, the attire in itself, man,
Right.
folks don't really folks don't really have those visuals when it comes to certain parts of Africa. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And something else I never asked you: do you still have, or did you make any connections while you were there? Someone that you may still be in contact with? Again, I've never asked you that before. I just thought about that.
Um, I had well, the main person I was talking to, he didn't have social media, but one person I talked to, he had social media, but some of the stuff that was asking, to send back over there,
Wow.
it gave a little too much. So um, I kind of lost touch with that person. But the main
Yeah.
person I wanted to keep in touch with, he didn't have any social media. So,
Okay.
but it was all good. I always keep that memory in heart, that we shared, the story he gave me,
Mm,
just giving me a little light on any dark times in my life. Probably is the reason why I really don't take too much to heart or get mad about, because he was saying, you're very grateful to be in the situation you're in. I wish I can go over to America and,
mm,
do the smallest thing over there, work at a fast food
wow.
restaurant or whatever. But,
Yeah.
he'll never have that chance to come over there, come over here. So,
Yeah.
yeah, anytime I'm going through something, I just think about that heartbreaking conversation he had with me, and I just
Wow.
carry it with me through life. And I try and let all my soldiers, my students know, and friends and family, it always someone that has it worse than you. So, touche to say, but I'm a living testimony of that. Like, I seen it, and yeah, I don't really get too mad about anything or sad, because life is
hmm
life. I'm grateful for where I'm at.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's powerful, Marcus. And just hearing you say that, um, you've always been that cool, calm, and collected type of person. That's always been your demeanor. That's really profound. Really profound. So you're back in the States now and have
Yes.
been for uh, a year or so.
Yeah, I just hit a year. October 6th made it a
Yeah.
year I've been back in America.
Right. Right. Back from Korea. I
Yeah.
remember. I remember when before when you were heading out, our time spent in Savannah. Hey, I look at a few of those pictures to this day, man, and recollect on some of the things that we did then, be it the food, the drinks, or what have you, some of the people that we came in contact with.
Mhm.
But now you're back and you are an Army instructor.
Yes.
You touched on initially, the Fort Jackson, the schooling and training and such, and now you're back in that capacity as an instructor. So I'd like to hear a little more about that. How has that been? You're at Fort, is it Fort Lee again? Or
Yes, it's just changed back to Fort Lee from Fort Grand Adams. It might change again, but as of right now, we going with Fort Lee, Virginia.
yeah, yeah, we'll leave that alone. But
Mhm.
so tell us about the what you can share, what you do, what you instruct, how that came about.
So I needed a broadened assignment, and then I just needed to take a break because I've been humping these last, man, probably last 8 years nonstop, been in leadership positions, being over soldiers, going on missions, being in charge, knocking out a bunch of stuff, doing my job. And I just like, you know what? I want to take a break. I want to stop all going to the fields, the training and deployment. So let's try being an instructor. So I came here with an open mind, and you know, it's basically like being a teacher. My hat goes off to teachers at all levels, from kindergarten to college professors, like coaches. It's all wrapped in one, and you know, going from being that student that want to be the class clown, joke around, fall asleep in class, and being on the other side of that, it's just like I'm really sorry for all the teachers that I gave a lot to, So um,
Uh,
it had to grow on me, but of course, like I said, I had soldiers in the past, and I had to be in a situation where I have to teach classes, but just doing
mhm,
it 8 hours a day, every day, coming up with lesson plans and just being very um
mhm,
accurate at that. It
mhm.
it was a lot at first, but now I'm starting to enjoy it, especially the teaching part. I don't know, when I get done, I might think about being a part-time substitute teacher sometime. But
Okay.
yeah, it's definitely enlightening, to look at the different learning abilities. You have ones that get it quick, ones that get
Mhm,
it, takes a little time, and
mhm.
just breaking it down to the smallest level, finding
Right.
unique ways to get them to understand what you're pitching out. So
Yeah.
it's fun, Every day is something, you have to, you ranging from ages from 18 to 45. So you
Uh-huh.
kind of got to use stuff to relatable, generational stuff, the millenniums, the generation X, so I bring
Right.
a lot to the table every day, and they look forward to coming class. They say I got this look on my face like, oh, Sergeant Jones, I know you're tired of us and you look pissed off, but I let them know this is my face,
Right.
So
Right.
after they graduate, they tend to understand that. But yeah, I get that a lot.
The Sergeant Jones resting face. Okay. But hey, I wish I could be a fly on the wall and witness some of that.
Oh
Uh,
man, you'll enjoy it.
how does it? You just kind of touched on it, but how does it measure up being an instructor to your previous jobs positions?
Um, it's very good. I'm glad I waited to this point in my career to do it, because
Okay.
I don't touched on, because I'm pretty much just teaching my job, like all aspects of the job, from refueling um, generators all the way up to aircrafts, to the accountability piece, managing the fuel gas that we call, the numbers, what we have to do, account for it,
Right.
how to deal with it, the safety, the hazard measures, um, and just working with different motors and all that stuff. So most of the equipment I have worked with before, not all of it. So
Hmm.
just teaching it to the right T is easy, So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. and that's cool too. And I know Marcus, because of where you've been, throughout the country, around the world,
Mhm.
especially around the world, those type of lived experiences, being able
Mhm.
to share, relative information. And I'm sure too, you mentioning the age range that you work with, there's some students, have they've been there and been different places as well. So going back to me being a fly on the wall, I wish I could hear how some of those classes, the conversations, the dialogue around some of those classes, given you guys have done so many aspects of it. Do you care to share any aspect of that?
Just like a normal day in the classroom,
Yeah,
or
yeah. What does that look like?
they come in, they do their army songs, a couple songs they have to do. Then from there, I ask them how their day went, how their weekend went. Of course, they got the drill sergeants always giving them a lot. So, when they come to the schoolhouse, I feel like that's their time to, relax and lay their hair down and not really be in uh, harsh environment. So I try and treat them like actual students and college students, whatever, and not really soldiers. So, I would like them to, relax, open up, mingle with each other, talk. Because another thing with my MOS, we have multiple races and nationalities from Hispanics to Africans to Black Americans. So being in that class environment, I tend to not let them be in their groups. So I try and like spread them out. But sometimes others English and dialect isn't as fluent as others. So I might keep
Uh-huh.
one or two of them close by, but I like for them to spread out and get to know each other because it's not just active duty. We have reserve and national guard. So a lot of
Oh,
these
yeah.
students they going back into the civilian world, the workforce, while others
Hmm.
actually going into you know active duty status. So
Hmm.
that's another big problem too, because you kind of get them soldiers that's reserve and national guard to
Yep.
kind of have that. I want to say don't care attitude, but they know they're not going to be doing this on a daily. So you kind of
Hmm.
got to keep them active, engaged for them 10 weeks that we're teaching. So,
Nice, nice. Oh, 10 weeks. I never even asked how long does
yeah.
a course, a full course is. Okay, 10 weeks. Okay.
Hmm.
Nice. Nice. So the in Instructor Jones, Sergeant Jones and all of these different things that you've been doing, since you've been back this year or so. What does the next chapter of your military career look like, or how would you prefer it to look like?
Um, Glad you spoke on that. Yeah, so I'm on the back end of my career. So these next few years, I'm strongly trying to get engaged with networking, building relationship with ones that's already out. Different soldiers in different areas. Like you said, I done been pretty much all over the world. So my networking is, it's going up and up from here. Building those relationships. So once I get out, I plan to have multiple avenues to touch on. Um, Once I'm done. So just building relationships and keeping those networking,
Mhm.
business relationships, and that's my focus right now for the next 6 to 8 years.
Yeah. No, good deal, good deal. So since we're trending in that direction, right?
Yeah,
Ideally, what once you retire, right? It can be in the next, like you said, 6 years or so. You may stay in a little longer, but beyond 20. Who knows? If you had your crystal ball in your perfect world, what would your ideal job or career be upon retirement?
the ideal job, be an entrepreneur. Like I always talk to you about the landscaping portion. I want to
Mhm.
get sports turf grass management, where I have my own business and get a couple contracts. The ultimate goal to get a contract with like a JUCO school and not necessarily have
Mhm.
to be a big university, but
Mhm.
manage all their sports fields, the turf, from soccer fields, baseball, softball, football fields. That's the ultimate goal. But if not, smaller portions, contract with housing areas, neighborhoods, apartment complexes, businesses, just keeping up the landscaping outside their facilities. And then, touch on some of the social portion of it as well. I would like to have like summer programs for the youth in the areas, giving them an opportunity for a trade, you know, college or the military, not for them, give them something to start on, make a little money. And yeah, that's what I want to do. That's the ultimate goal, leaning towards that.
Okay. No, sounds good, brother. Hey, man, I I appreciate you sharing, all this information, especially how I put it, taking us around the world and back, and sharing those specific insights regarding your experiences in each of those arenas. I wish we had more time to
Yeah.
delve deeper into those particular, because I know, man, the things that you can talk about, even and not just, of course, there's life beyond the army. That's your day to day. I know been in the military, it's a 24-hour job, but there are times when you're out of the uniform, right? And out in those cities. I've seen pictures that you share when you were in Korea, pictures when you share when you were in other parts overseas. And it's just so enlightening, and it makes you feel good, especially me. Maybe I have a different view on it because you're my little brother. But bruh, it just makes us proud, man. I know it makes me proud to see you out there doing your thing, because we had those conversations, what some of your aspirations may be. You didn't know, but you were willing and ready to jump out there and get into it and experience these things. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing some of this stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. I appreciate you for having me.
Marcus, I would like you to share any words for anyone thinking about the military, the army specifically. Any words come to mind that you would share and impart to someone contemplating?
Yes, I definitely say if you're in the age range from 17 to 43 and you don't know what you want to do with your life, or you want to try something different, you want to travel, definitely take a look and joining the military. Like I said, it's multiple experience, from training day one. You probably gonna go to somewhere you never been. From ones that's up north, most of your training probably gonna be, southern states, or if you're from southern states, your first duty station might be way on the west coast or east coast. But if you want to travel, just get experience on something different, definitely think about doing the military. At least do one country. I promise you it's worth it. With the benefits you get from it, just the recognition and the different programs and resources that's available to you as a veteran. Just try it. If you just completely lost on what you want to do right now, or want to just do something different, the military definitely be a good route to go. Like I said, just one contract at least. It's definitely a good starting cheat code. I like to say, we all say in life. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, hey, thanks for sharing that. And I can personally attest to joining the military and having that experience, the people that you meet, the levels of camaraderie. I mean,
yeah,
I have friends. I separated in 2000, Marcus, 25 years ago, and I have good buddies, best buddies, who I talk to and communicate with to this day.
hmm,
So that it is, there's just so many things that you can garner from the military. And you mentioned, the benefits,
yeah,
post, enlistment, or if you're an officer or what have you. There's all types of, things that you can take advantage of, support systems and et cetera. So my brother, hey man, again, thank you for joining me again. Like I said, it's been a few years ago, but you came back, and since that time, you've been around the world and back, actually twice again. So
yeah.
now that you add it up, so man, no, this was awesome. Thanks for sharing that type of information, and Godspeed to you, brother. I'm gonna talk to you, communicate with you in some way soon. Godspeed with the rest of your military career. Again, I'm proud of you. We're proud of you, and I know you are thoroughly and proud of yourself. So, thanks again for joining me, bro.
You're welcome, bro. Nice. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, and to the audience, thank you guys for tuning in again. I appreciate it. Keep those comments and suggestions and recommendations and such coming. I do take them in and try to incorporate them as I can. But like this video and any other recording that resonates with you, leave a comment and share. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. and click that notification bell button so you can be notified of my latest recording. This is another way we creatively inform and inspire, helping people write the lives they desire. Take care.